Let me be crystal clear. You're not stuck because you're unlucky. You're stuck because you're a coward. Not the kind who runs from physical danger, the kind who runs from the mirror. The kind who lies to yourself so often and so artfully that you've built a furnished apartment inside your own delusion. And you wonder why you're not motivated. Here's the brutal truth no one wants to sell you. Motivation isn't something you find. It's something you earn through the ritual sacrifice of your own bullshit. And most of you have a Costco-sized inventory of bullshit. You say you want to get in shape, but you ate fast food 4 times this week because you were too busy. You say you want to start a business, but you spent 4 hours last night watching Netflix because you needed to decompress. You say you want better relationships, but you ghost people the moment they ask you to be vulnerable. Stop lying. You're not busy. You're not tired. You're not unlucky. You are simply choosing comfort over the person you claim you want to become. And that's fine if you want to be comfortable. But you don't. You want to be exceptional. Those two things are in a cage match to the death. They cannot coexist. People think brutal honesty means being an asshole to others. That's amateur hour. Real brutality is turning that scalpel inward and slicing open every story you tell yourself about why your life is the way it is. The story about how your parents messed you up. The story about how the economy is rigged. The story about how you'll start Monday. These aren't facts. They're preservation mechanisms for your ego. And every time you repeat them, you give yourself permission to stay exactly where you are. Motivation dies the moment you let those stories live. You want to know what actual motivation feels like. It feels like panic when you finally see the invoice for the time you've wasted. It feels like nausea when you realize you've been the villain in your own story, not the victim. It feels like that first freezing shower when you're still half asleep and every fiber of your being screams no, but you do it anyway. That's not inspiration. That's a hostile takeover of your own mind. The math is simple but cruel. Every time you choose the easy thing, you vote for the person you are. Every time you choose the hard thing, you vote for the person you're becoming. There's no abstaining. There's no, I didn't have time. You had time. You spent it on something else. You're not a victim of circumstance. You're a CEO making quarterly decisions, and your company, your life is bleeding cash. Let me give you the 3 questions that will either set you free or ruin your sleep tonight. Use them carefully. First, what would this look like if it were easy? Not easier. Easy. This isn't about finding shortcuts. It's about identifying the friction you've invented. The complicated workout program, the over-researched business plan, the perfectionism that paralyzes you. Most of your struggle is self-imposed architecture designed to make you feel productive while you procrastinate. Second, what am I pretending not to know? That your friend is toxic? That your job is stealing your soul? That your relationship is dead? That you've gained 40 pounds? You've always known. You're just waiting for permission to admit it. Permission is overrated. Admitting it is the only way out. Third, if I continue this exact behavior for 5 more years, where will I be? Not where you hope, not where you fantasize. Where will the actual, measurable trajectory of your daily actions take you? If that answer doesn't make you sick, you're not being honest enough. This is the part where you're expecting me to soften the blow, to tell you it's okay, that you're doing your best. That self-compassion is the answer. Sure, be compassionate. But compassion isn't a participation trophy. Compassion is looking at your own suffering and saying, you deserve better than the lies you're telling yourself. So we're cutting the crap starting now. The people you admire, the apex performers, the ones who make success look effortless, they aren't more motivated than you. They're just more honest. They don't negotiate with themselves at 5 a.m. They don't have a debate about whether to go to the gym. They've already decided who they are, and that person's actions are non-negotiable. The conversation stops before it starts. You want a practical step? Fine. Tonight, before you sleep, write down 3 lies you told yourself today. Not, I was too tired. That's vague. Specific. I said I didn't have time to work out, but I spent 45 minutes on Instagram. I said I couldn't afford to invest, but I ordered $60 in takeout this week. Then, next to each lie, write the cost. Not financial, the identity cost. who you failed to become because you chose the lie. Do this for 7 days. By day 3, the pattern will make you furious. By day 5, you'll have a choice. Keep lying or change the behavior. By day 7, if you're still lying, you have your answer. You don't want this badly enough. And that's okay. Not everyone wants to be exceptional. But stop saying you do while your actions scream average. The motivation you seek isn't a feeling. It's a byproduct of integrity. When your words and your actions align, when you become someone who does what they say they'll do, even when no one's watching, especially when no one's watching, you don't need motivation. You are motivation. You become the proof that it's possible. But that identity isn't given. It's forged in the moments where you want to lie, where you want to negotiate, where you want to hide, and you choose truth instead. Every single time you choose truth, you deposit into your self-respect account. Every time you lie, you withdraw. Most of you are overdrawn. So here's the final honesty. This video won't change your life. Only you will. And you've probably already decided mid-sentence whether you're going to close this tab and forget it or actually do the uncomfortable thing. That decision wasn't intellectual. It was instinctual. It was your identity whispering its truth. Listen to it, or don't. But if you're still here, still reading, still hoping there's a secret, there is. The secret is that you already know what to do. You've always known. The only question is whether you'll finally be honest enough to admit it. And then whether you'll be brave enough to do something about it. The clock started the moment you were born. It's not waiting for you to feel ready. It's not waiting for Monday. It's not waiting for motivation. It's just waiting for you to stop lying.